Do you want your business to stay competitive in the ever-changing world of startups? Are you looking for a way to innovate and explore new business models while still taking advantage of your current business model? Hey everyone, my name is Sohail Abbasi and welcome to the Innovation Factory podcast, your one-stop shop for all things related to startups, innovation, and entrepreneurship. You'll be talking to entrepreneurs and innovators about their successes, challenges, and experiences in the world of innovation. We'll also be giving you practical advice on how to get your own startup off the ground and how to make the most out of your innovation project. So join us as we explore the wild world of startups and innovation. Alright, welcome to Innovation Factory podcast. On this episode, I explain how companies can successfully outsource innovation to stay ahead of the competition. So let's dive in. How can we look at the future while also considering the products and processes of the past? What strategies can leaders use to find the right balance between exploration and exploitation? Well, these are the questions every leader should be thinking about nowadays. In ancient Roman mythology, Janus was the god of gates, passages, and also the god of beginnings and endings. Janus is often depicted with two faces or two heads, one of which looks forward and the other in the opposite direction, that is, behind the head. It is believed that these two heads look at the future and at the past at the same time. Leaders should be able to act like Janus. They should constantly look back and consider the products and processes made in the past, while also looking to the future and prepare for innovations that will shape the future. Which is not as easy as it sounds, believe me, but it is an essential one if they want to stay competitive. As I said, creating such balance can be one of the most difficult managerial challenges. It requires managers to explore new opportunities while working to exploit existing capabilities. And not surprisingly, few companies do it well. Take Kodak, for example. They were the number one brand in analog photography, but failed to adapt to the digital camera revolution and eventually went bust. And it's kind of funny that the digital camera was invented and patented in Kodak research centers. That's why it is so important to be able to explore new opportunities while still exploiting existing capabilities. But the trick is to find the right balance between the two, a balance that allows you to stay ahead of the competition. Despite the pressure of the marketplace and competitors on your business, as well as rapid technological advances, if you want your business to stay competitive, you have to switch from the discourse of protection to the discourse of speed. That means you can't just stick with your current business models and products, protecting your cash cow. You have to explore new opportunities. It seems like a paradox, but that's okay. What you need is the spirit of an explorer to find new markets, technologies, solutions, and business models. But you also need to focus on exploiting what you already have. Put simply, milk your cash cow. That's the exploitation paradox. But if you want to survive, you have to figure out how to make it work. One important question is, why is it hard to explore and exploit at the same time? Well, there are many reasons why companies, especially big ones, cannot exploit their current business model and explore new business models and innovate at the same time. For starters, a mature organization is all about taking advantage of its market to make as much money as possible. They don't want to risk their cash cow, so they focus all their energy and effort on keeping things the same and pleasing their customers, their current customers. Second reason is that big companies, to borrow a phrase from Steve Jobs, are like giant Navy warships. Before departure, their course must be precisely set in advance. And if they have to change their course en route, they must plan ahead to make sure it is on the right track. Like that, large corporations have an immense amount of resources and infrastructure that can be difficult to change quickly, and they can be slow to adopt new technologies and processes. Last but not least, with all the stakeholders involved, employees, management, shareholders, customers, and suppliers, it is hard to make big decisions and big changes without hurting no one. But on the other hand, startups are more like speedboats that can quickly adapt to new conditions and make decisions on the fly. So to resolve the paradox, we need to turn our companies into organizations that can take advantage of their current business models while exploring new lands of opportunities. Such an organization is called ambidextrous. So it's time to ask, how can we move toward an ambidextrous organization? Well, one of the methods that many companies have tried is connecting and bringing in agile innovation and tech teams from outside of the organization, like startups. But in reality, this isn't easy and requires its own structures and expertise, like incubators and internal innovation management teams. This can be done through investment and creating a culture that is conducive to collaboration between the two entities. Some big companies have tried this and invested heavily. However, this is not always easy and can be time-consuming and costly because, startup culture is so different from that of an established organization. So a better solution would be to outsource innovation through excubators instead of incubators. This approach of excubation or fostering innovation outside the organization is an interesting one. This separates exploitation from exploration by creating two separate but connected companies, allowing them to focus on their core business while still allowing for innovation. This way, they can outsource innovation to startups and other innovative companies. And the fun part is how it works. The core business presents its needs and problems, whether they are technical or business problems, to the startups and innovation teams outside of company, and they begin to explore innovative solutions, and when they find one, they turn it into new business models. Then the core company takes those models and exploit them as much as it can. And this creates a cycle of innovation flows. It is important to remember that in the end, it is the people who make the difference. Companies need to find people who are passionate and have the right skills to drive innovation and create new business models. It is also important to have the right leadership and management structure in place to ensure that the organization can continue to innovate, explore, and exploit its current business model. This is especially important in the current climate, where the business landscape is constantly changing and new opportunities are emerging. With the right system in place, organizations can remain competitive and continue to thrive in the future. That's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. My name is Sohail Abbasi. Please help me spread the word and share the Innovation Factory podcast with your network. Until next time, let's make the world a better place through innovation.